Let's close out of this report. It is saved, as you can see, and we'll create a first cost report. Again, I right-click on the category and select New Report Template, and I'm going to call this Cost Plan Report, and this is going to be the structure of the cost plan. To start, I click Edit, and again, this is going to be an empty report, and I will repeat the step of creating the report layout once more. So I insert the bands that we want to use. Report header, we want a page header, we also want a page footer, and we want a detailed report, which right now is going to be components. I'll change the font to 22, and the color is again going to be Vico blue, 0, 80, 160, and I draw a label in here, and this report is going to be called Cost Plan Report. Okay. Bold, italic, and I want to include a picture box in this one as well, of course. I click on the caret, select the image, the Vico logo, and I choose zoom image to fit it into that placeholder. Okay, we'll skip the page header in this report and go into the detail information right away. Actually, the page header is going to be the table header that we want to see repeated on each page. So what we want to see in this report is code, description, quantity, unit, the unit cost, and the price. So that's 6 cells. So what I will do is draw a table in here and make sure that I got 6 cells. I need to insert a few more. Right, and then one more, and I'm going to call those code, description. We have the quantity, the unit cost, and the price. And probably we want to make this a little bit smaller. Snap it to here. Maybe even more. Quantity a little bit smaller. Unit cost bigger. Like this. And then set this to the page margin. Okay. I want to format that in such a way that it's got a background color. And I want to make that bold. And this will now appear on each page, each top of the page, so I know what kind of data I'm looking at. I'm going to reuse that table by using Control-C, Control-V, so just copy and paste that thing into the components band. As you can see, it aligns automatically. I will remove the formatting of the header, so I'll remove the background color, and I will make that the normal formatting. And I will move this up as well to make sure that there's no space between the lines. The cells will automatically grow if the description is long, so I don't have to worry about that. But I don't want to add space in between because that causes a problem. When I want to save it to an Excel file, it will create an additional row, which is what we don't want. Now let's link up these items. Before I do that, I forgot to go back into the PowerPoint. Is an important thing with the cost structure, and you will recognize the cost plan report, is a concept called node levels. So this is a fragment of the data set that we're using, and with node levels, I mean the count from the root of the project. So the project itself is node level 0. The first level, so substructure, is A. And then it goes down to node level 6, which in this case are the resources. Setting up your data set like that makes reporting a lot easier because you always have a dedicated function for dedicated node levels. We use those node levels for conditional formatting, so you can associate a type of formatting, so font size, font type, using formatting rules. We'll do that for the cost plan report as well. And what I will use in this report as well is a calculated field. So besides the standard fields that we have for the components category, you can add any number of calculated fields which use any of the existing prepared fields. So in this report we'll use a unit price calculation, which is the active price divided by quantity. This is the report template that we're working on. Okay, back to the report designer now. So nothing is linked yet, and we only have names. So I'm going back to the field list, and now I'm going to choose from this list the fields that I want to use. It's going to be code in this first cell. It is linked. Then description, drag it over, and then the quantity, the unit for the component or assembly. Then we want to use the active price. So the active price of the component or assembly is going to be used. So when it's a component, it is the component's price. If it is an assembly, it is the sum of everything within that assembly. Unit cost, for that we're going to use that calculated value. To calculate a value, you right-click on a category and say Add Calculated Field, and that adds a new empty item in here. To define what that is, you edit the expression, and of course it is empty right now, but in the Fields item right here, I see all the fields that I have in my predefined list. So what we want to do is divide the active price by the quantity. I'll just double click on that item to insert it in the formula. And that is it. So now for each component or assembly, it calculates the active price divided by quantity. And that calculated field is what we want to use for the unit cost. Of course, we want to format the quantities as well, as the active price. So I'm clicking the caret over here and select a format string number, and I want to use again the N2. Okay, and for active price, I'm doing the same. Format string number, and then I choose. Actually, let's choose a N1 or whole number. And click OK. And then, in addition to that, I want to align those values right. Okay. Then I want to include a page number as well with page info. And I want to center that on the page. Okay, let's save that and hit print preview to see what we did. So this is the current report. Unit cost we forgot to format. And as you can see as well, that everything is a flat list. There's no distinction between any of the node levels, so you cannot really see what substructure, what level of the cost per assembly component structure that is. So I want to go back, first of all, fix the unit cost, make that the right format, and then apply conditional formatting. The unit cost is going to be using the format string, the number, apply that, and we want to align that right as well. Now let's define the formatting rules. So we click on the caret, and the formatting rules can be accessed from here. Right now it is empty, and so I want to define new rules in the rule sheet. And as I said, we want to make those formatting rules based on the node level. It is important that you first select the components in here, because it is the components that we want to look at for the condition. And for each level, we want to use the node level property, and in this case the node level is 1. That's where we want to start. So node level is 1, and for node level is 1, I want to change the font. It should be 14, and the style should be bold. Okay. Let's do the next one. Again, make sure that the data member is components. I can just type in here as well. So node level 2 equals symbols is 2, and the font is going to be 12 point and just a regular. And the third rule, node level is going to be 3. Make sure that the data member is selected, and the font is going to be 11 and in italics. Okay. Fourth rule, condition is node level equals 4. The font is going to be 10 point, and it's going to be bold. Level number 5 will remain as it is, but I do define the condition, so node level is 5. And then the last one, node level equals 6. We want to use, this is the resources, we want to use a smaller font, which is 8. You can change the font from here as well. So what I really want to use is Arial. Just by typing. And the last one. Over here. Now if I copy templates, which is what I will do for the next one, these rules can be reused. So once you've set them up, you can reuse them quite easily. You can preview what it looks like over here in the bottom. Okay, those have been defined. They have not been applied yet. I want to apply them to each cell in this report bend. So I'm just clicking the double arrow, click OK, and that includes those rules. So when I hit the print preview button again, it will format my report based on the rules that I've set up. It doesn't do that. Let's see. I need to apply them to the individual cells, so let's do that quickly. Formatting rules, I want to apply them all. Okay. So you see I selected the first cell and it already formats them correctly. Now I need to repeat that with the other ones. Formatting rules apply. Quickly go through them. And the last one. Now you can, I only formatted the font. In addition to that, you can also change the background colors. If you would like to format that as well, you can assign a dedicated color to each layer of the report. So you can see how you can quickly generate that structure that is based on the levels and the layers of your customer report. Let me quickly go to a prepared version of this same report. What you want to do is play with the width of the columns as well, and that way you can make sure that the numbers fit. So this is a fully prepared number. Also applied indenting conditionally to the last 3 layers. So to layers 4, 5, and 6, they have padding assigned to them based on the node level in the cost assembly structure. So this is our current report. Anytime you have created a report, you can save that report as in the file format you want to. So PDF or Word document or an Excel file are all available. I now notice that the 0 level is still included, which I may or may not want. If you want to remove that, you go into the filtering. So use that again. Use the filter string, and I can say node level needs to be larger, is greater than 0. Project level is 0, and by applying this filter, I will no longer see the project level content in my report. So now it starts at A substructure.